Hello, audience.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. In the year of 2020, my friend overdosed on heroin, so I have a lot of feelings around drug use and all of that. So, did you know that every state around Indiana has legalized marijuana recreationally and medicinally? However, not every state has forgiven drug-related charges. So, per se, if you used drugs in 2019 and you got caught for them, you still would be sitting in jail alone without your family, even though if someone today got caught with them, they would be fine. According to the Pew Research Center, 12% of drug crimes are nonviolent. So nonviolent meaning that there were not any guns involved, there was not any robbery, and it was just kind of like cruising on the street, get pulled over, you have some drugs in your car, and then you got taken away. It wasn't anything like you weren't robbing anyone or there wasn't any violence involved. But according to the NCDAS, 1.16 million arrested for drug charges since 2020. That means 139,200 are nonviolent. And that is an issue for all of us because we probably all have family members who are in jail right now when they probably shouldn't be, or we know someone who's in jail that could be on the streets making a really good life. There could be daughters and sons without parents, mothers and fathers without their sons or daughters, and it would be really great if we could get them back to their families. 10% of drug charges are marijuana. So that meaning that almost 100,000 of these drug charges are for the use of marijuana, and not very many of the marijuana drug charges are violent. In 2022, President Biden tried pardoning simple marijuana drug charges, according to the Office of the Pardon Attorney. However, not all of them got pardoned, and they were called simple drug charges. So that would mean you would have less than an ounce of marijuana in your car or on you as a person at that time. And then, so for all of this, it's hard to decide whether what is violent or not. So for me, I would think a drug dealer was violent. You know what I mean? Like, if they're dealing like meth or heroin, I feel like that's violent. You know what I mean? Like, that is them could possibly they could kill someone. A lot of drug dealers lace their things with fentanyl, so it's heavier. So people, if you're getting an ounce of marijuana, they'll put a little bit of fentanyl in there, and then it's heavier, and then they could sell more of it because they're not actually selling you an ounce of marijuana. And I feel like personally that would be a violent drug crime, trying to inflict harm on someone else. In 2022, CNN said that they busted 3 major drug trafficking with 300,000 fentanyl pills. So with that being said, there's 300,000 less fentanyl pills on the street, which is amazing. However, they're still there, and I think that is an issue on itself. So then going back to how do we determine violent versus non-violent, it's hard because it is subjective to how you are as a person. I feel like as a good rule of thumb, like no guns, no stealing, and then I also feel like trafficking drugs could be a violent crime as well. I know that people think drug addicts are dangerous, but self-medicating is real, and I want us to think like, how can we help these people rather than put them in jail? So that was the end of my speech. So if you guys have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll get to them. Yes.
How do you objectively define violent crime?
So I kind of went over that a little bit in the speech. However, I think it would depend state per state. So I'm thinking like no guns, no robbing, and then probably not the intent to sell. I think for me that would mean non-violent.
Did Biden clear all charges?
No, he did not. I think he couldn't get it across the House to actually clear all of them. However, there is a website where you can sign up to get cleared of simple drug charges. Does anyone else have any questions?
So, would
The U.S. make or lose money if they started clearing these people?
So during my research, I kind of looked this up and I realized that I guess the United States wouldn't technically make money, but like the cooks that, like the organization that helps cook for the inmates and the medical organizations, all of those things make so much money from it. I mean, obviously the U.S. does make a lot of tax dollars off of it, but that's a whole nother story. Anyone else have any questions? Yes.
Who's to say that if they were to get pardoned, they would not continue to commit or go on to commit a violent crime?
I think that kind of dwindles down to you are not guilty until you're proven guilty kind of thing. So I think we all can't necessarily say that they wouldn't. You know what I mean? But also, like, if Bob on the street could get caught with some marijuana now, you know what I mean? Like, how is that different than them getting caught then? Yes.
How do you personally go about freeing them?
I think it would probably have to be like a mass thing. So, they would all get freed probably in one go per prison. You know what I mean? Okay. Thank you guys for your time.